Remember last season, Liverpool beat United 9-0. Cristiano Ronaldo with a chance, and he's being pushed to the ground, but nothing given. So the last time United beat Liverpool, it was actually let me see. It was 2-1 at Old Trafford 2018. Marcus Rashford with both the goals. Eric Bailly with an own goal. And the next time was a FA Cup fourth round game where United won 3-2 at Old Trafford. So those are the last two triumphs at Old Trafford. But the last few games at Old Trafford have been 5-0 win for Liverpool. There's been a 4-0 win, a 0-0 draw, a 2-0 a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw. So there's been a lot of draws, but last season was very embarrassing. So last moments of the game, guys. United in possession. Keep your eyes on Erik ten Hag and how he celebrates here. Varane, he goes long. And the whistle goes! Erik ten Hag punches the air. Jurgen Klopp shakes his hand and he walks down the tunnel. Well, he's shaking a couple hands right now. Maybe he's going to greet his players. And United have picked up their first ever win under Erik ten Hag. And it's against their biggest rivals, historically, Liverpool FC. Wow. I didn't predict this. I predicted a win for Liverpool. 3-1, I think. And it's Manchester United coming up with a big performance on the day. Very indifferent performance than the first two games of the season where they lost to both Brighton and Brentford. And now they're beating one of the juggernauts of the Premier League 2-1 to show that maybe they're turning a page here. Or maybe we are jumping the gun. You see what I'm saying? But it's a big result. It's a positive result. And it will do their confidence a whole lot of good. It would also instill that belief in Erik ten Hag that, okay, I got it right against Liverpool. I have something going. I did it without Ronaldo. I did it without Harry Maguire. Maybe this is the way going forward. And I got something working for me here. You know what I mean? The next test would be against Southampton. That could be an easier test. You see what I'm saying? Well, for Liverpool, they do come up against Bournemouth, where Bournemouth, they've been going through some very, like a horrible run of fixtures against City, Arsenal, and now Liverpool. But Liverpool got to be very, very careful of FC Bournemouth because they're also under a lot of pressure. They're newly promoted. They ain't got nothing to lose, and they're going to give it their best. Liverpool going through an injury crisis right about now. Got to be very, very, very careful of how these first 5 games of the season goes. And so far, it's not gone well for the first 3. 2 points out of available 9 is unprecedented stuff from Liverpool FC under Jurgen Klopp. I can't remember a worse start. I really can't remember a worse start by Liverpool, in any recent season. I really can't. This is poor. This is poor. But all is not lost. Let's not pretend. Let's not act like okay, Liverpool are gonna come in 10th this season. It's too early. It is too early. But it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good at all. It's not looking good. Did Liverpool get it wrong in terms of the preseason where they played a bunch of games? I'm not even going to get into that right about now. Were they well prepared coming into the season in terms of signings? Because we have to bring that up. That's 3 games. 2-2 draw against Fulham, newly promoted. Palace, a 1-1 draw in a game that they could have lost. And now against United, a team that they bullied last season, a 2-1 loss. Questions are gonna be asked. Liverpool fans are gonna need answers here from Jurgen Klopp because this is poor. This is indeed poor. So let's just take a look at the scores really, really quick there, guys. Jadon Sancho in the 16th minute. United cutting apart Liverpool's defense. Not very good defending there. You could criticize who you want to criticize, but very good sequence of play by the likes of Ericsson, Ilanga, Bruno Fernandez, and then Jadon Sancho with the finish. A player that we criticized heavily for, the postseason he had last year. And then Liverpool conceded a second goal. Marcus Rashford in the 53rd minute with that goal. And then Salah in the 81st minute. And the Marcus Rashford goal, I think I was actually mixing up the two goals, where Marcus Rashford goal was, I think, McTominay, won a ball and they broke on a. I can't even remember all the happenings of the goals, but I could, it was a breakaway play. Marcus Rashford in behind and beating Allison, for a second goal there. And Salah with a fight back goal in the 81st minute. Fabio Cavallo off the bench looked good, and his shot was saved by the David De Gea, and then the parry was put in by Mo Salah. So Liverpool did, threaten, but they lacked the clear cut chances, I have to say, and they were thoroughly, I think, outplayed by United, who I think really really wanted this game a lot more. You could see just by the commitment. The commitment was there. You know what I mean? The way the players throw themselves around, throw their bodies at the ball. The blocks, the tackles. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a lot of complaining from the Man United players. They were just getting on with their game, as Liverpool looked like they were leggy. You know what I'm saying? Just like the first game against Fulham, they looked a bit leggy in this match. You see what I'm saying? I thought they looked a little better against Crystal Palace, but Liverpool, they've started the season very, very poorly, man. Very, very poorly, I have to say. And it's been one of the worst starts that we've seen recently. 2 points in 3 matches. That is poor. That is indeed poor. So, look, I'm going to scroll down to the stats here, guys. United with 12 shots, 4 on target, only 30% of the ball. So they were able to do a lot with whatever they had off the ball. They were comfortable off the ball, allow Liverpool to do their thing. And whenever Liverpool came into the box, they would deal with it. So you got to give credit to the likes of Malacia, Diego Dallo, Lisandro Martinez, and Rafa Varane. That could be the partnership going forward. You can't discount the work of McTominay in the midfield, Bruno Fernandes. They were defending in numbers, actually. You know what I'm saying? And United, we haven't seen that from United this season so far, losing their first 2 games. So it's kind of weird that United had no points at the beginning of the season, and now they do have more points than Liverpool. And they're actually showing back the whole Bruno Fernandes and Salah thing with the goal. That was a funny moment, though. But I don't know why Salah is actually, trying to get if Bruno Fernandes wants the ball, let him just keep the ball. Go back and get back to things. You get in yourself, riled up for no reason, in my opinion. Just keep your composure there. You know what I mean? So Liverpool with 17 shots at goal, 5 on target, 70% of the ball. You could see the passing, a lot of, sideways passing, a lot of passing back to the goalkeeper as well. And, very ineffective in breaking down Man United's defense today. So the interviews are being held right now. Sancho and Marcus Rashford. I want to hear what Klopp has to say in terms of his excuse. I doubt he's gonna make an excuse though, because last week against Palace, Klopp didn't make any excuses. Klopp just said, "Hey man, Palace played well. We didn't. 1 point." Today, I don't know what he's gonna say though. I really don't know what he's gonna say. But guys, did you feel this looked like a typical Man United Liverpool game? What was it feisty enough for you? I think it was feisty from the United side. The home team really showed up today and looked like they meant business. While for Liverpool, I don't know what it was, man. I really don't know what it was. The midfield is being criticized, and if we go back and we take a look at the midfield chosen today by Jurgen Klopp, that's a bit questionable. Bringing in the inexperienced, let's say the inexperienced Harvey Elliott, along with Henderson, who did not start the last game, and Milner, who's being, getting a lot of game time with the absence of Thiago and the likes of Naby Keita and Oxlade Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, you name them. You see what I'm saying? So I could see Klopp's not, you could say it's an injury crisis that's causing this right about now. But go out there. The transfer window is still open. There's still, 9 days left in the transfer window as far as I can tell. You have, you got to bring in somebody to give you that option in the midfield. Or you brought in Fabio Carvalho. You got to start him. You got to start him because you saw what happened when he came off the bench. He made things happen while Milner wasn't making anything happen. You see what I mean? Milner really wasn't making anything happen. And he wasn't able to finish the entire game. You got to start Fabio Carvalho, Jurgen Klopp. That's just how I feel. You got to start him. If you have him, start him. I don't think Robertson has been at his best either. I really don't think so. And for Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's trying. He won some early battles against Ilanga, but afterwards, he was being outran. You see what I mean? And you look at how advanced those two players are. I think that could be an Achilles heel for Liverpool, especially when you don't have Fabinho on the field to mop up. You see what I'm saying? So you have Jordan Henderson, who is a defensive midfielder by trade, but there's been doubts. He probably has doubts in his head. I know he's the captain and he's required to be strong, but he probably has doubts in his head. Fabinho looked good when he came on. I gotta give it. Fabinho looked very good. You see what I'm saying? Well, Liverpool lost the first half, but drew the second half, so they were a lot better in the second half of the field. I think Luis Diaz was one of the best players on the day for Liverpool. Salah wasn't involved enough, in my opinion. He was being pocketed by Terrell Malacia last week by Tyreek Mitchell. And Firmino, I think he's playing a bit too deep. You're being played as the number 9. You have number 9 on your jersey. You have to play in advanced positions. The fact that Firmino has to come so far back for those balls, it just tells how the Liverpool midfield lack that creative edge. And some people might say, oh, Thiago this, Thiago that. How many assists does Thiago pick up? You see what I'm saying? Look just for an example. When Man City needed to come back into the game yesterday against Newcastle, look at what Kevin De Bruyne did. You see what I mean? Man City has that presence in the middle of the field to make something happen. Kudos to Newcastle. They did well to get a draw. But the character to get back in the game, give it to Man City. And Liverpool lacked the character today to get back in the game from 2 goals down. Well, for yesterday, City did get back from 2 goals down. So if you had an influential midfielder in there, maybe Carvalho from the start could have actually did that for you. You see what I mean? But Klopp, I think, is having some doubts maybe. Or he's still in, saying, okay, let's go with Milner. He's experienced. He's been around a long time. Give him the opportunity first. And if he does not, do well, then you go to the Carvalho option. You can't really think like that. You can't really. That is being reactive and not proactive. Okay? So, well played to United. Well played. And you could see what Erik ten Hag did here in his lineup, right? Rafa Varane coming in for Harry Maguire. He's sending a message. He's sending a message. 2 games, 2 losses. The captain is in the team. Conceding way too many goals. 4 against Brentford, 2 against Brighton. Make a change. He did that. He made some very, very good changes. Some positive changes, right? Taking off Fred, bringing in McTominay. It's the same kind of player in my opinion. But still, you see what I mean? Making that change, having that option off the bench as well. And bringing in Ilanga. I was surprised that Ronaldo didn't start, but maybe, that was a call that Ten Hag needed to make. These gutsy calls, these surprise calls by saying, Yeah, Ronaldo, you're not too big for the team. Maguire, you're not too big for the team. Ilanga, come in, youngster. You know what I'm saying? Varane, come in, get your confidence up. And it worked. It really, really worked on the day. United played as a collective unit. They showed a lot of aggression. That aggression that Liverpool lacked as well. They were creative when they had their opportunities, and they showed that hunger. I'm not gonna say that Liverpool they weren't hungry, but there's just something missing. Sadio Mane, maybe. Sadio Mane, that Mane effect. 3 games without Sadio Mane, 3 games where Liverpool have failed to win. Is that the missing piece here? Darwin Núñez, we got to talk about Núñez. Suspended 3 matches. So they'll be without him for the next 2 games. The game against Bournemouth, and after the Bournemouth game, Liverpool do have Newcastle. Let me say this right about now. That Newcastle game is not a walk in the park. That Newcastle game is not a walk in the park. It ain't a walk in the park. Let me just put it out there. That Newcastle game is not a walk in the park. The Everton game is not a walk in the park. Look, I predicted Liverpool to win the season. As much as people may say, hey, damn, I'm not taking it serious that you predicted Liverpool to win the title. But that's how I felt, because I didn't think that City is actually going to do the three-peat. That's not how I felt from the beginning of the season. So only left to see what happens. But that was not a good performance from Liverpool. That was not a good performance. Collectively, in the first 3 games, that was an un-Liverpool-like performance. Un-Liverpool-like. And the title isn't gone. Let's not act like the title is gone. It's not. Because at the end of the season, you could lose 1, you could lose 2, draw 5, and you could win the title. So maybe Liverpool are getting the draws and the losses out the way. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? But if we go to the table really, really quick, guys, we go to the Premier League table to see the standings where Liverpool is at. Liverpool are 16th, and United have jumped up to 14th right about now. All right? At the bottom, a West Ham, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, and then there's Liverpool, just outside the relegation zone. This is relegation form. It's relegation form right now. Why I say it's relegation form? Leicester, they got 2 losses and a draw. Liverpool got 2 draws and a loss. It's relegation form. I'm not saying Liverpool are going to get relegated, but it's relegation form right now. Is this some type of, fluke by United? Is it a fluke? Or are they going to follow this up with a win against Southampton? Let's take a look at what they got coming up. They got Southampton, they got Leicester, they got Arsenal, Palace. These are not easy fixtures. These are not easy fixtures at all. They got Leeds and then City, October 2nd. These are not easy fixtures. But what United showed was a lot of character, was a lot of fight, a lot of desire. And sometimes that's all you need. All you need. And like Pep Guardiola said in his short interview I watched yesterday, when asked about the draw and everything, he said, hey, we weren't the only ones out there playing. Newcastle wanted those points. They wanted the 3 points. They end up getting 1. You see what I mean? They wanted it. Maybe they wanted the points more than Man City did. You see what I'm saying? Where City had to be reactive in the game. And they end up getting a point. You see what I mean? But on the day, there's no doubt that Man United wanted that more. They couldn't afford to lose yet another game in front of their fans when this early in the season. They are going to lose more games, I think, in front of their fans this season. But this early, it would have been unacceptable. And to factor in that Casemiro have been signed, it's gonna make the Man United team a lot better. I don't know whether Ten Hag's gonna go with Eriksen and Casemiro along with Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Malacia, who looks very, very good. Big up to Malacia. And Dallo, who looked good, really good in the game. That could be the midfield right there. In the more attacking positions now, Bruno Fernandes, Sancho, who's got his confidence up in this game, did play well. Martial looked good when he came on. Rashford had, he scored a goal. Rashford scored a goal, so he's going to, keep his place. Ilanga, he looked bright in the match. United could be on the up. They could be on the up, but they have to show that intensity in the next game and the next game and the next game. They can't be complacent. They can't be relaxed. They can't say, hey, man, we won against Liverpool. You know what I mean? That means we're going to beat Southampton. No, Southampton are not going to take it easy on you. You see what I mean? This would do Ten Hag a whole lot of good. I know the United fan base is buzzing right about now. This is a huge victory against their biggest rivals, Liverpool. It's not Man City or their biggest rival. It is Liverpool. Man City or Derby. If they manage to put on a performance like this against Man City, we could see a similar result. I did predict United to come in sixth this season, but if they play more and more games like this, it could be a top 4 finish. I'm not going to go as far as to say they're going to fight for the title, but it could be a top 4 finish. Okay? Anything else I could add here? I think I talked about, most things in the game and give my reaction. And, I don't think I could. Anything else to add? What are you guys saying in the chat here? So we do have a super chat here. Football Journey, big up to you. $6.99 Canadian. Thank you very much for that, for supporting the channel. He says, Brighton, top 4 confirmed. Big up, Dom. Man United fan, but not 100% yet convinced. So you're saying Brighton are going to get top 4. Well, it could be United. It could be United. Let's see. Let's see, though. But appreciate it. Appreciate you dropping the $6.99 super chat. Don't forget, guys, you could super thanks on the channel if you're watching a replay. You just have to look at the bottom where the like button, dislike button, share button, and you just scroll across. There's an option to super thanks if you want to support the channel in that way.